Literally 11:11 on the clock as I put this video on. This is about the uncovering of the demonic plot that they thought that they was doing on me, or they thought they was doing on you. Like, they getting so ridiculous with these humiliation spells. Like, to the shit is just watered down now. It don't even motherfucking work on people. They doing this shit all across the reality channel and all that shit. 11:11, as my phone keep lighting up every time when I say something, it light up and I see the 11:11. Like, every time they play games in 11:11 energy, this is what's gonna happen. If they do any smear campaigns, if they do any type of humiliation, whatever the fuck it is, it's gonna blow up in their face like it's been doing. And I've been watching it on Love and Hip Hop all day. Like, they love humiliation and smear campaigns. They think that shit will give them ratings, okay? They don't care if they blow up a motherfucker's life or not. They want to do this shit for ratings. So they get all in a person's energy and then try to turn a marriage and all this other shit upside down, or play games when the shit is sacred to God. Like, that ain't even nothing to play with. You know, like the shit they tried to do to Thammer and 24. That shit backfired. Okay? I watched how he responded to that. That nigga was not playing with his marriage or with his wife or people slandering her name while she wasn't at the table, even if the shit was true. He stood up for it like the fuck he was supposed to. He backed out that shit. He knew that them motherfuckers wasn't his friends. And that shit was all set up from the beginning to get them there and do all that shit. And then thought they was going to respond and act a certain type of way. This is the same shit that this clown did. Okay? And it backfired on him. All right? So we going to listen to this demonic, we going to listen to this demonic ass shit that they tried to do when Father God had me cracking up. This Father God is funny. If you got a relationship with him, then you know. But if you don't, then you'll find out. But he is real funny with some of the shit he be saying. How he think, just how he move. You know? Okay?
But the moment the heavens revealed it, it turned into...
Hold on, let me rewind it all the way back so y'all can hear it.
Plot against you was written in the dark, but the moment the heavens revealed it, it turned into the enemy's death sentence.
Wow.
Chosen one, let that sink in.
Y'all hear that
You didn't
shit?
just stumble across a minor inconvenience. You just exposed a full-blown demonic setup engineered for your destruction.
Demonic.
You thought they were ahead of you, but the moment the trap came to light, it became their undoing. Exposure kills deception, and today you've caught the enemy red-handed. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one. A hunter digs a pit in the forest, carefully covering it with branches and leaves. He steps back, smiling, waiting for his prey to fall in. But instead, the branches give way beneath his own feet. He's swallowed by the very trap he designed, screaming as the earth takes him down. That is what's happening in your life right now. The heavens exposed the snare before you walked into it, and the one who plotted against you has been swallowed by their own design. And here's the fact that proves you're not imagining this. Throughout history, the greatest minds, leaders, and innovators were always met with targeted sabotage. Tesla was ridiculed and sabotaged by corporate giants. Socrates was condemned for awakening minds, and countless visionaries were framed and attacked, not because they were wrong, but because they carried a force the world feared. The same principle applies to you. The intensity of the plot against you is confirmation of the power you carry. If you were ordinary, no one would bother building a trap with your name on it. And thank you, Chosen One, for standing here today with this message. Don't forget to pay this back by pressing the like and subscribe button, because spreading truth is a responsibility we all share. Every time you do that, you help push this light into more souls who are trapped in darkness. Thank you for being part of this mission. You're not just listening, you are part of a force. Now let's return to what the enemy never wanted you to see. Chosen One, a demonic plot was set against you. Not vague, not general, precision engineered. They studied your movements, analyzed your habits, and thought they found your weakness. The enemies of your destiny always work.
What was my weakness? Was it food? I just want to know.
King. But here's their fatal mistake. They underestimated the heavens, because the moment you uncovered this plot, the entire game collapsed. Their hidden pawns are now exposed, their queen is defenseless, and their checkmate was an illusion. Think of it like this: shadows only exist where there is light. The darker the scheme, the brighter the exposure when light hits it. You are the light that revealed what was moving against you. The moment you saw it, their power was broken, because deception dies in the face of awareness. The truth is, Chosen One, they needed secrecy more than they needed strategy. Their strength wasn't in the plot itself. It was in you not knowing. That's why exposure is the ultimate weapon. The instant you saw their plan, the cords snapped, the illusion burned, and their control vanished. And let's make this crystal clear. You were not paranoid. You were not overthinking. You were right. Science itself confirms this. Studies show that highly intuitive individuals pick up on hidden dangers before they manifest. Their brains literally detect patterns before the conscious mind processes them. That's why you felt uneasy, why you sensed something wrong, why you knew before you knew. Your intuition wasn't lying. It was the heavens warning you ahead of time. Chosen One, the enemy's anger is your confirmation. Demons don't waste energy on empty vessels. They only attack those carrying rare frequency, high vibration, untapped power. If your presence shakes their shadows, it's because your light is lethal to their schemes. They wanted you silenced, distracted, broken, but instead, your awareness just sentenced them to collapse. Let's press deeper. A demonic plot isn't random. It's personal. It attaches itself to your vulnerabilities. It disguises itself as opportunity, relationship, or circumstance. It presents itself as coincidence, but is engineered sabotage. That's why the moment you uncovered it, you had to pause, because deep down you knew this wasn't an accident. This was constructed, designed, targeted. But here's the reversal. What they built for your downfall is becoming the stage for your elevation. The pit becomes your platform. The setup becomes your spotlight. The smear campaign becomes the evidence that proves your power. That's the mathematics of the universe. Darkness multiplies itself until it collapses under its own weight. And understand this, Chosen One. The fact that you exposed this plot means you've already won. The plotters are now in panic mode. They invested time, energy, resources, even their sanity to design this web. But exposure bankrupts them. They poured themselves into a blueprint that just burned in front of their eyes. Imagine spending months forging a key, only to discover the lock no longer exists. That's their frustration. Their investment is ashes. Chosen One, lean into this moment, because exposure is not just survival, it's evolution. Every plot revealed sharpens you, strengthens you, and elevates your awareness. The universe is training you to become untouchable. Each trap uncovered turns you into a master of patterns, a reader of shadows, a breaker of cycles. So here's your reality. You are not falling, you are ascending. You are not the victim, you are the evidence that no plot can prosper against the chosen. You uncovered it, you saw it, and in the realm of deception, sight is the ultimate weapon. Chosen One, you've just uncovered a demonic plot set against you. But hear this, the moment it was exposed, it died. Their whispers turned to silence, their weapons turned to dust, and their power turned to nothing. You stand here victorious, because awareness is the sword that cuts every snare in half. And this is only the beginning. The deeper we go, the more you'll see exactly how these plots were engineered,
I'm about to
how
watch
they
a movie
operate,
called
and how
Priest,
exposure not
the
only destroys
unrated.
them, but flips them in your
I'm gonna see
favor.
what this
And
about.
hey, Chosen One, don't go anywhere. The Raw is coming next. Think of this as the opening strike. The true depth of this demonic plot is about to be peeled back layer by layer. If the exposure in the intro shook you, what's coming will not just confirm your suspicions, it will make the entire picture crystal clear. And I want you walking with me step by step, because missing even one detail could cost you the clarity that sets you free. So here's what I want you to do. Drop the number 777 in the comments right now if you're ready to shatter every hidden scheme that was designed against you. That simple act is more than a comment. It's a declaration that you see the trap and you refuse to be caught. And if you feel led, you can bless this mission through super thanks, because every ounce of support fuels the work of exposing darkness and spreading truth to chosen souls across the world. And now, let's dive deeper, step by step. Believe me, if you are truly chosen, you will feel the pull to stay until the very last word. Let's get started. Number 1. The sound of early warning. The enemy's greatest mistake was making noise before the attack, because the Chosen hear footsteps in silence. Chosen One, let that strike you deep. The plot against you wasn't defeated in the moment it was revealed. It was already doomed the second you sensed it. Before the branches of their trap could even be laid, the heavens whispered in your ear, and suddenly their secrecy was shattered. This is the power of being chosen.
That's the power of being tapped in with God.
You see shadows long before they manifest. And what the enemy doesn't understand is this. Awareness is already victory. Think of it this way. A thief thrives in surprise. His weapon is
These
not
people
the gun,
is not
not
spiritual.
the
I
knife.
keep telling
It's the
y'all that.
shock
I've
of
been telling
catching
y'all
you
that for the
unaware.
longest. They've been
But
playing
what happens when the
this
chosen
whole
one is
time.
already standing at the door before the thief arrives? What happens when the light is already on and the eyes are already wide open? The thief loses his advantage. The plot collapses before it even breathes. That is what happened to you. You heard the enemy before they struck. You caught their footsteps in the silence. Now you may wonder, why me? Why did I feel something when others didn't? Why did the pit look so obvious to me while everyone else walked blind? The answer is in your identity. The chosen are wired differently. You are not built to sleep through alarms. You are a finely tuned instrument of awareness. When the heavens send signals, through dreams, through signs, through gut feelings, you pick them up, even when the rest of the world calls it coincidence. But, Chosen One, there is no such thing as coincidence for you. Every nudge, every dream, every warning is the universe moving chess pieces in your favor. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine standing at a train station. Thousands of people stand waiting, distracted, scrolling on their phones. Suddenly, an announcement comes over the speaker. Step back, danger ahead. Most ignore it. But you, the chosen, you hear it like thunder. You move before the train barrels through. You live while the crowd gasps, wondering why they didn't move. This is the difference. You don't
They
need
not
proof
tapped
before
in.
you
That's because
act,
they living
because
in
the
the
heavens equip you with an
three-dimensional
antenna
world.
no
They
enemy
not
can
tapped in
jam.
spiritually. They
And
just only
history has
concerned about
always
physical
confirmed
shit.
this.
So
Think
they
of
so they
great minds
disregard
and leaders who
every
received
spiritual message
warnings
that God
before
give,
disaster.
because they only concerned
Winston
about
Churchill
material
dreamed
shit.
of Europe burning long before the bombs fell. Nikola Tesla claimed he could see inventions and dangers before they became reality. Even warriors in ancient tribes trusted visions before battle, moving when others mocked, only to survive what would have killed the blind. Chosen ones have always been ahead of the curve, because when you are marked for impact, the universe refuses to let you walk into traps blind.
I try to save
Now,
people's
here's a
lives
fact
all
that
the
will
time,
anchor
but they
this
never
truth.
can. They never
Psychologists have proven
can
that
seem
the
to
human
understand
brain
what the
can
fuck going
detect
on, so they
danger
die.
signals milliseconds
Like,
before
this shit is
conscious
real
thought
life.
kicks in. The heart rate rises, the skin prickles, the gut clenches. Science calls it intuition. The chosen know it as the sound of early warning. What others dismiss as paranoia is your built-in survival code, refined because your
Y'all
destiny
keep thinking it's
cannot be cut
paranoia
short.
and y'all
The
gonna
enemy
fucking
call it
die.
luck.
Wow,
Skeptics
the
call
chosen
it
ones that use
imagination.
spiritual
But you
discernment and
know
wisdom gonna
it's
fucking
heaven
live.
whispering,
That's
"Wake
what I
up,
got to
they're
say.
coming." And
To the
here's the
motherfuckers
part
that
that
keep
should
throwing
make you stand
paranoia up.
taller. Every
You the
time you
motherfucker
listen to that
paranoid.
early warning, you humiliate the enemy. Imagine their frustration. Weeks, months, maybe years planning your downfall, only for you to sidestep it like you already read the script. That's why they hate the chosen so violently. It's not just that you survive, it's that you survive too easily for their taste.
No, it ain't too
Move with
easy. I'm
grace
smart, you
while they
dumb.
sweat
You don't
in
want to be tapped in, I am.
Your
What
awareness
part
robs
you
them of
don't
the satisfaction
understand?
of surprise.
You so
Now
concerned
imagine
about this
this for a
earthly shit
moment.
and
A
nothing about your
sniper sets
spiritual
up for
well-being.
days,
What
adjusting the
part you don't
scope,
understand?
calculating distance, steadying his breath. He pulls the trigger, but at that exact second, his target ducks, without even knowing why. That's you. The chosen duck without logic, without evidence, simply because the heavens whispered in the spirit, "Move now." And the enemy loses his mind, because how do you fight someone who reacts before you act? This is why you must stop doubting yourself, chosen one. Stop asking, am I just overthinking? Am I imagining things? No, you are not imagining. You are not paranoid. You are not crazy. You are chosen. And chosen ones receive signals others cannot. Your so-called overthinking is often your intuition screaming louder than usual. And here's the twist. Every time you ignored it, you fell into something painful. Every time you listened, you escaped destruction. The evidence is in your own life. How many times did you say, "Something told me not to go," and later realized disaster struck in that exact place? How many times did you cut ties with someone, only to later discover they were planning to betray you? That's not random. That's early warning. That's proof. That's the heavens saying, "We will never let you walk blind into a trap." And let me tell you
Hallelujah to
something the
God.
enemy despises.
Thank God for
Chosen
God,
ones
because
don't
I'm
need
trying to
proof
tell
to
you.
act.
These
Others
bitches be
demand
busy.
evidence, documents, screenshots. But you move on instinct, and instinct saves you. That makes you unpredictable, untouchable. The enemy can't corner someone who changes direction the moment the air shifts. That's why they call you difficult, detached, or cold. You don't play their game because you already know the outcome. The beauty of this, chosen one, is that every early warning is not just protection, it's confirmation. The heavens don't waste whispers on meaningless people. If you're receiving early warnings, it means you are carrying something that must be protected at all costs. You are not ordinary, because ordinary people are allowed to stumble, but you are shielded in advance. That's how dangerous your destiny is to the darkness. And let this hit the enemy where it hurts. The more they try to move in silence, the louder their footsteps become to the chosen. The more intricate the trap, the brighter the exposure. They cannot outthink you, because you are plugged into frequencies they will never access. Their plots are noise, your intuition is signal, and signal always drowns noise. Chosen one, you are not behind schedule. You are not late. You are early. Always early. You arrive before the shop opens, before the train departs, before the knife swings. And that is why you survive what destroys others. Early warning is not just a gift. It is the weapon that keeps the chosen untouchable. So the next time you feel the nudge, the whisper, the shift in the atmosphere, don't question it. Trust it, because the heavens are not in the business of wasting words. Every warning is proof of who you are, and every trap exposed before it is sprung is one more humiliation for the enemy. And this is only the first layer of what you've uncovered. You didn't just survive, you've just proved you are unstoppable. And the deeper we go, the clearer it will become. Chosen ones don't fear plots, because the heavens
got her long drape cape on,
strikes.
hair all tied up.
Number 2.
Walk on, girl.
The greatest agony for your enemy is not that they failed to stop you, it's that they realize you were untouchable from the very beginning. Chosen one, hear this with full force. You cannot lose. Not because the enemy hasn't tried hard enough, not because their weapons weren't sharp, but because the heavens already secured your victory before the battle even began.
Show you right, Most High.
Isn't in your future, it's in your DNA.
Show you
the
right.
chosen don't fight hoping to win. They move as those who have already conquered. That is the secret that drives your enemies insane. Think about it. The enemy
it ain't even no secret, because Jesus demonstrated it. So I don't know what part y'all missed. Jesus is everything he fucking did. He demonstrated it.
Instead, the same
he demonstrated it. That it's done. Victory.
For help.
Every fucking thing he did, every encounter.
The snare with confidence.
Your faith has made you well. Go. You can go.
All along.
Your daughter is healed when you get back home, like he was cold gangster. Cold gangster.
But if victory is mine, why does it still feel like I'm under attack? Why do the battles still come? The answer is simple. The attack is part of the proof. Think about professional fighters. The challenger always studies the champion. Nobody wastes energy fighting someone irrelevant. The fact that you're under fire is the enemy confessing you carry something valuable. Every arrow fired at you is a signal that you already won, because they are only desperate to stop what they cannot defeat. Here's the metaphor. Imagine a race where the finish line is already decided in your favor. You're not running to see if you'll make it. You're running to collect the crown already set aside for you. The enemy can trip you, push obstacles in your lane, even try to distract you, but none of it changes the outcome. You were declared the winner before the race began. That is the frustration of your adversaries. They're fighting a war that was over before it started. History confirms this truth. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "Victory belongs to the most persevering." But for the chosen, perseverance isn't just about endurance. It's about inevitability. Look at figures like Nelson Mandela, who was locked away for decades, yet his destiny as a liberator of a nation was untouchable. The prison was a pit, but when he stepped out, it was the system that crumbled, not him. Look at Harriet Tubman, hunted and threatened at every turn. Yet she led hundreds to freedom because her path was already carved in the heavens. These were chosen souls, and the more pressure came against them, the clearer it became. They could not lose, and science even backs this up. Studies in human psychology reveal something called the winner's effect. When a person secures even small victories, their brain chemistry shifts, their confidence rises, their energy amplifies, their decision-making sharpens. Now imagine this amplified for the chosen one. You are not wired for defeat. Even when you look like you're losing, the chemical structure of your being recalibrates to turn the fall into fuel. That's why setbacks for you are not endings. They're momentum. What breaks others only builds you. And here's the sting for the enemy. Your so-called losses were never losses. They were illusions. You didn't lose that job. You were redirected to a greater assignment. You didn't lose that relationship. You were freed from an anchor. You didn't lose that money. You were trained to multiply more. The chosen cannot lose, because even the appearance of defeat is just the universe rearranging the board in your favor. Every collapse is construction disguised. Picture this: a chess master sacrifices a queen, shocking the opponent into believing they've won, only to deliver checkmate 3 moves later. That's you. The enemy celebrates too early, not realizing what looked like your downfall was the setup for your elevation. They think they've trapped you, but in truth, they've boxed themselves in. That's why chosen ones rise where others stay fallen. The board always bends toward their victory. Now let's answer another question. If my victory is already secured, why does it take so long to see the results? Because victory is not about speed. It's about strategy. Sometimes the heavens delay the revelation of your triumph, so the enemy wastes every ounce of energy fighting a losing battle. The longer they struggle, the more exposed they become, the more resources they burn, and the harder they fall when the reversal hits. Your patience is part of their punishment. Chosen one, this is why you intimidate the enemy so deeply. You don't play by their rules. They expect you to crumble under pressure, but instead you become sharper. They expect you to drown in betrayal, but instead you rise with clarity.
Good riddance, nigga.
Because it proves that nothing they did had power over you. Imagine the rage in their camp when they see you smiling after sabotage, thriving after abandonment, flourishing after failure. To them, it's unnatural. To you, it's destiny. Think of the pit again. Joseph's brothers thought the pit was his end, but it became his passage to the palace. The same principle
backfired on them.
The trap accelerates the victory. The betrayal becomes the passport to destiny. The wound becomes the weapon. That's why you cannot lose, because every move against you is secretly a move for you. Let me drop another fact.
We work it out, we work it out, we work it out. And then we work it out. And we walk it out.
The moment you see a trap for what it is, the energy of that trap collapses. That's why awareness is your shield. Once you recognize that your victory is secured, nothing can manifest as defeat. The chosen live in a different law of energy, the law of inevitable triumph. So let this ignite you. You don't fight for victory, you fight from victory. That's why you're from the masses. Others,
Father God, you are capping!
Already crowned. That's why the universe bends in your favor, even when storms rage. That's why doors slam shut, only for gates to swing wide. Enemies burn themselves out chasing you. You're running a race that ended before they even put on their shoes. Chosen one, you need to start walking like your victory is secured, because it is. Stop moving as if you're still trying to prove yourself. Stop doubting as if defeat is an option. The option to lose was stripped from you the day you were marked as chosen. Your enemies already know it. That's why they work so hard. That's why they panic when you rise again. That's why they whisper, scheme, and sabotage. They're not fighting for victory. They're fighting to stop what is unstoppable. And this is where you flip the script.
They fighting so that they can go to hell.
Every betrayal exposed.
That's the bottom line.
It all adds to your record of undefeated battles. The chosen don't leave battlefields in shame. They leave them with crowns. And today, you stand not as someone who might win, but as someone who has already won.
Where's my
The
water
only
at,
thing
Deja?
left is for time to catch up to the truth.
It's in the
So
car. Go
stand
get
taller, chosen one. Walk with certainty. Declare it with your whole being. I cannot lose.
I
Because
cannot
every plot
lose.
designed against you already failed.
Every plot designed against me has already failed.
Fell into their own pit. And you, chosen one, walk out untouched, victorious, and untouchable. Number 3, the many faces of wickedness. When the enemy can't defeat your light head-on, they disguise themselves as opportunity, love, or loyalty, and that's when their mask betrays them. Chosen one, the wickedness aimed at you doesn't wear one face, it wears many. It moves through betrayal in business deals that looked promising, manipulations woven inside your own family, romantic traps designed to chain your freedom, forged accusations meant to stain your name, and signatures twisted to lock you into cages that were never yours. These are not coincidences. These are not random accidents.
Somebody's
This
finna
is
get it.
calculated sabotage, demonic engineering
Somebody
crafted
finna
to
get it.
derail your destiny. But here's the twist.
Whoever
that
been
burns
around
them
here
every
forging my
time.
name and
The
thinking
more
that you was
faces
pulling me in some
wickedness
shit,
puts
you
on,
really
the
finna
more
get it.
obvious it becomes to the chosen. You see through disguises like X-ray vision. The universe aligns with your energy, whispering, "Look again." And the moment you look twice, the mask slips, the truth leaks, and the plot collapses before it can consume you.
Every time,
Why
Father
would those
God.
closest to me be used? Why would love, family, or partnership become weapons? Because the enemy always aims where it hurts most. The deeper the bond, the sharper the betrayal. But chosen one, betrayal isn't the end. It's proof of your value. The heavens allow exposure.
Look like
so
that
you
whole
can't be
damn
changed
mansion is
by
on fire,
illusions.
shit.
What
She
you
ain't got
thought was
Carrie
loss
on their
was
ass.
actually liberation. History proves this. Julius Caesar was warned, but still betrayed by his inner circle. Steve Jobs was removed from his own company. Only
They
to
better
return
stop
stronger,
playing with the chosen ones. That's
revolutionizing
all
the
I'ma
world.
tell you.
Every great
Shit, I
visionary
seen a whole
faced
damn
engineered
documentary said that the
sabotage,
chosen
not
ones are
because they
very
were weak,
dangerous.
but because they were
And
carrying
it makes sense
fire
because
too bright
angels
to
are
be
very
ignored.
dangerous.
The
We're
chosen
not
cannot
nothing to
avoid
play with. I
attacks,
don't know
but
why
they
y'all
cannot
think
be
this shit a
defeated
game. We're
by
not no
them
frauds
either.
around
So
here.
here's the truth you need to
So
carry. Every
I would advise
scheme
people to
tailored
just
against
figure
you is
themselves out because
secretly
I'm not no
tailored for
fraud.
you. Every attempt to derail you
Like,
becomes fuel to
my
accelerate you.
patience,
The business
I can't even
betrayal
believe I got
forces
the
you to
patience
build
that I
your
got
own
because oh my
empire.
God,
The romantic
I
trap
could have been
hardens your
put a period
discernment.
in this
The
shit a
false
long time
accusations turn
ago
into
with the
evidence
shit
of
I
your
know. Like,
resilience.
you
Wickedness
bitches just
thinks it's
don't know, but I
burying
leave
you,
things
but the
in God's
universe is
hands because
planting
that's
you.
the right
And
way to do
chosen
it.
one, hear this:
That's
your
doing
enemies are
things by
terrified
God's
because
spiritual
every mask
laws.
they wear
God's
crumbles
spiritual
faster in your
laws. Like
presence.
I would
They
want
can't fool you.
my
They
own
can't
self to be
stop you.
judged by
They
his
can only
spiritual laws,
expose
not by no other
themselves as stepping
motherfucker.
stones on
You
your
feel
path to
me?
greatness.
Because people are
Stay locked
crazy.
in, because the deeper
So
we go, the more you'll see.
he got
Plots
patience. I
don't
have to learn
destroy the
patience.
chosen. They advertise them. And the universe always makes sure the advertisement backfires.
Every time.
Number 4. Divine surveillance activated. The most terrifying thing for your enemy is realizing their secret meeting was never secret. The universe already live-streamed it into your spirit.
You better say
Chosen one, this
Like,
is what separates
I don't
you
even
from
gotta
the
be in
rest.
a
While
room and
they
I can sense
whisper
every
in dark
motherfucking thing
corners,
going on. Y'all
thinking their
don't be knowing who
schemes are
y'all be
sealed
fucking
and
with. Y'all
silent,
is
the
not
heavens
smarter
run
than no high
surveillance on their
priestess. Y'all
every
need to
word.
stop. And I'm
Every
not no
plot
just no
against you is recorded.
rinky dink
Every
fucking high
conversation
priestess. Man,
replayed.
I am
Every
cut with
dagger
some shit that I
exposed
can't
long
even
before it
believe
can
that I'm
pierce
cut
you.
with.
They think you're
Like, y'all better
blind,
stop
but your
playing in
awareness
my
is
energy.
proof you were
Because I'm going to
already
tell
in
you
the room
again,
without
I
being
am
in
cut
the
with
room.
some shit that I
Imagine
cannot
this:
even believe that
criminals
I'm
huddled
cut with.
together in a basement,
Stop playing in
whispering
my
like
energy.
conspirators. They draw
Seriously.
plans on paper, confident the
Because I'm
world
a
above
gift to
them knows
humanity.
nothing.
I'm telling
Yet,
you, I'm not
hidden
no
in the
threat, but I
ceiling
can
is a
be your threat.
microphone they never noticed.
Like, I could be
Every
your
word
worstest
is
fucking
captured,
nightmare.
every
I
plan
promise to
stored.
God.
That's you, chosen one.
Without
You
even
are the
lifting a
hidden
finger. Like, you
microphone the
better stop
universe
playing
placed
in my
inside
energy.
their schemes.
Like,
The
that's why I
second they
walk
plot,
around
you
humble and
receive
quiet
signals.
and
That
nice
gut
and
feeling,
sweet,
that
and I
sudden
try to
dream,
be sweet
that
to people
strange
because
unease
my
when nothing
energy
seems wrong.
is like how
That's
Carly B
divine
say in her
surveillance at
music.
work.
Be
And
careful
here's the
with me.
fact that should make you
You better
smile.
be careful with me.
Intelligence agencies
You
spend
better be
billions
careful with my
spying on
energy.
enemies.
And I make sure
But
I'm
you,
careful with my
chosen one,
energy.
have the most
Because my
advanced
energy is
intelligence
lethal.
network already built
It ain't nothing to
inside
play
you.
with.
No
If I
satellite,
get
no
mad,
wiretap,
a
Just
motherfucker
direct
get
downloads
sick
from
in
the
my
heavens.
energy. If
You
I
don't need
argue
to
with
guess
you and
what's
I get
happening.
mad,
You already
your ass
know.
can get sick
Now you may
fucking
wonder,
around
but
playing
why
games in
me?
my
Why
energy.
do
This is
I
how
always pick
my
up on
energy is not
things
nothing to
others
play
can't
with.
see?
So I
Because the
want to
universe
use my energy
protects
the
its
correct
investment.
way,
You are
which is
carrying
the
a
loving
mission too
way. You
heavy to
feel
be
me?
sabotaged, so the
Don't piss
system
me
makes
off
sure
with
you're
no crazy
alerted before
shit.
the first strike. It's
Especially
not
when you ain't got no
paranoia,
business
it's
doing that.
protection. You are not crazy, you are chosen, and chosen ones receive information long before the crowd. Look at history. Think of spies who tipped off nations before disasters. Think of whistleblowers who exposed corruption. The chosen function the same way, but at a higher frequency. You've been planted with sensors that pick up frequencies most can't hear. That's why enemies get frustrated. They can't sneak past you because surveillance is always on. So here's the punchline that stings your enemies the most. Every time they gather against you, they're only briefing you. Their whispers are your alerts. Their secrets are your revelations. They are the authors of their own exposure. Stay sharp, chosen one. The more they hide, the more the universe reveals. You are never out of the loop.
Never.
You are the loop. Number 5. The spiritual pressure cooker. Pressure doesn't break the chosen, it breaks the enemy's mask wide open. Chosen one, you can feel it. The atmosphere itself is heavy, shifting, almost vibrating. It's not your imagination. This is what happens when wickedness realizes its time is up. The universe turns up the heat, and suddenly their shadows can't hold form. Darkness trembles because truth is cracking its cover. The elite may fear exposure of their secrets, but the real terror comes from you, the chosen rising higher, unstoppable under the spotlight of the heavens. Think of a pressure cooker. At first, everything is silent. The lid is sealed tight, steam building inside, but pressure always forces what's hidden to the surface. The moment it grows too intense, the hiss escapes, the lid rattles, and everything inside is revealed. That's exactly what's happening right now. The more your enemies conspire, the hotter the pressure builds, and the faster their lies leak out. They can't contain what the universe is forcing into the open. And you might ask, why do I feel this heaviness before anything happens? Because the chosen are barometers of spiritual weather. You feel storms before the first drop of rain. You sense tension before the crack of thunder. That's not weakness. That's proof of your alignment. The universe lets you feel the tremors, so you know the quake is near. History has shown this pattern. Corrupt empires collapse under the weight of their own secrets. Lies always implode when light presses in. Every cover-up, every conspiracy, every demonic engineering eventually crumbles. Not because they stop, but because pressure exposes them. That's the law of the universe. Nothing dark survives in rising heat. And here's what burns them most. The harder they plot against you, the faster the spotlight finds them. The more they invest in secrecy, the more obvious their guilt becomes. They are trying to hide a bonfire under a blanket. It's only a matter of time before the flames burst through. Chosen one, stand steady. Don't fear the pressure. The pressure isn't crushing you, it's crushing them. Every rise of intensity means you're closer to their exposure. The heavens are cooking their lies until nothing is left but ash. Stay ready. The pressure cooker is hissing, and soon everything hidden will explode into plain sight. Number 6. Plans reset to 0. The cruelest punishment for your enemy is not just failure, it's being forced to start over every time you advance. Chosen one, this is what has your enemies breaking down in silence. Every plan they drafted against you has been erased. They sketched blueprints of betrayal, signed contracts of sabotage, and mapped out traps like architects of destruction. Yet the universe reached down and wiped the entire page clean. Every scheme was reset to 0. every plan sent back to the starting line. And while they scramble to reassemble their broken strategies, you keep walking forward untouched, as if nothing ever happened. Picture this for a moment. Imagine a chess player studying your moves for months, rehearsing a masterful trap. They sit at the table, grinning, certain the checkmate is seconds away. But the moment they reach for their piece, the board vanishes. The game resets. Their victory evaporates, and they're left staring at empty hands while you walk away undefeated. That's exactly what the Chosen experience. The enemy believes they've cornered you, but the universe pulls the rug out and resets the board. And here's the beauty of it. Each reset doesn't just erase their progress, it multiplies their frustration. They wasted resources, called in favors, burned energy, and made promises to others about your downfall. Now, they're back at square one, looking foolish. Meanwhile, you didn't even break a sweat. That humiliation eats them alive more than any physical defeat. You may wonder, but why do they keep trying if it never works? Because your light is unbearable to them. Their obsession is proof of your power. They cannot stand watching you thrive, so they keep drafting plans, hoping one will succeed. But Chosen One, the universe designed it so that every time they move, they lose. They are chasing shadows while you're chasing purpose. They're locked in circles while you walk in straight lines. History shows this too. Time after time, enemies of visionaries wasted their lives trying to stop what was unstoppable. They never realized the reset isn't coincidence, it's cosmic justice. So stand firm. The next time you sense opposition, remember, before their plan can even breathe, it's already back at zero. And every reset proves the same truth. You cannot be stopped. Number 7. The Sorcery Exposed. The darkest sorcery collapses when the universe turns the spell back on the sender. Chosen One, the mask is off now. Behind the curtain, your enemies weren't just plotting, they were performing sorcery of deception, forged papers meant to trap you in legal webs, false testimonies whispered to stain your name, fake evidence fabricated to twist reality, digital manipulation engineered to rewrite truth itself. They thought they were clever magicians, pulling strings behind the scenes, believing the world would never see through their illusions. But what they didn't calculate is this. Every spell cast against the Chosen ricochets. Every hex returns home. Every curse loops back into their own camp. Imagine this. A person throws a boomerang with all their strength, convinced it's going to strike you in the back. But instead, it spins around in the air and smashes into their own skull. That's what their witchcraft looks like when aimed at the Chosen. They send poison, but it drips back into their own cup. They call on shadows, but instead they summon light, angels with swords, cutting through their schemes like paper. And you might ask, why go this far? Why create such elaborate lies? Because when truth shines too brightly, the only weapon darkness has left is distortion. If they can't kill you, they try to confuse others about you. If they can't stop your rise, they try to muddy the waters so people can't see who you are. But the universe laughs at their tricks, because no manipulation can override destiny. History proves it. Great leaders and visionaries were slandered with false charges, framed with lies, and mocked with fabrications. But every time, the truth burned through. Lies may trend for a season, but truth reigns forever. And in your case, Chosen One, the exposure has already begun. Their fake evidence glows under the spotlight. Their testimonies collapse under scrutiny. Their forged papers crumble into dust. Here's what your enemies never grasp. Every spell cast requires energy. And the more energy they invest in their sorcery, the more drained they become when it backfires. That's why they are collapsing in exhaustion while you rise refreshed. Their curses are their chains, their rituals are their downfall. Chosen One, stand tall. The sorcery is exposed, the spell is broken, and the only camp burning now is theirs, not yours. Number 8. Judgment strikes. The cruelest defeat for your enemies is not when you defend yourself. It's when the universe itself steps in to prosecute them. Chosen One, the verdict has already been read. The gavel of the heavens has dropped, and judgment has struck with a force they cannot escape. What they conspired in whispers is now being shouted in the open. The lies they dressed in silk are being torn apart, thread by thread. Their corruption is no longer hidden. It's paraded in front of everyone, and the shame they plotted for you is now their own reflection. They wanted prison for you, but they've locked themselves in cells of fear. They plotted poverty for you, but their resources are the ones leaking into nothing. They dreamed of dragging your name through the dirt, but now it's their name being spoken in disgust. They tried to mark you with public humiliation, but the universe spun the stage around, and they're the ones standing exposed under the spotlight of judgment. Think of a courtroom. The enemy entered as the accuser, smiling with forged evidence and twisted testimonies, but the judge, cosmic balance itself, slammed the gavel before they could even finish their sentence. Case dismissed. Counter charges applied. That's exactly what just happened. They tried to prosecute you, but ended up convicting themselves. And you may wonder, why does this exposure take time? Why didn't the universe shut it down immediately? Because judgment isn't just about stopping them, it's about letting them reveal the depth of their own corruption. The longer they conspire, the more evidence they stack against themselves. When judgment falls, it isn't light, it's crushing, undeniable, irreversible. History has echoed this truth, from corrupt rulers who paraded in glory only to be toppled overnight, to fraudsters who looked untouchable until the spotlight caught them. Judgment always comes, and when it does, it's swift and humiliating. The chosen never fall under it, because the chosen are protected by alignment with the higher order of the universe. Chosen One, your silence is powerful now. You don't need to clap back, argue, or prove anything. Judgment has already spoken on your behalf. The universe roared, "Not this one, not my chosen." So walk free, Chosen One. The court of the cosmos has ruled in your favor. Their sentence has begun, and your vindication is unfolding for the world to see. Number 9. The enemy bankrupts themselves. Nothing bankrupts faster than envy, because every coin they spent against you was already cursed to return empty. Chosen One, listen closely. Your enemies didn't just fail, they bankrupted themselves in the process. They poured money into schemes, traded favors in backrooms, spent hours of plotting, burned through energy, and even risked their own reputation, all in a desperate attempt to see you fall. They sacrificed their own resources at the altar of envy, believing their investment would pay off in your downfall. But the universe has turned their seed into dust. Every dollar wasted, every alliance broken, every table flipped upside down. Imagine this. A gambler walks into a casino, convinced he has the winning formula. He bets everything, house, car, savings, pride, only to realize the deck was never in his favor. That's your enemies, Chosen One. They gambled against you, thinking they could outsmart the universe, and now they're walking away empty-handed, pockets inside out, begging for the very stability they once mocked you for. And you may wonder, why would they throw away so much just to see me fall? Because envy is irrational. Jealousy eats logic alive. Once someone sees your light, they can't sleep until they try to dim it. But here's the irony. They spent everything trying to suffocate your flame, and in doing so, they blew on it. They fed the very fire they wanted to kill. History repeats itself here too. Empires drained themselves chasing prophets, visionaries, and revolutionaries. Kings spent fortunes funding wars that ended in their own collapse. Even corporations have funneled billions trying to crush innovators, only to make them legends instead. The pattern is clear. Anyone who invests in destroying a chosen one always ends up destroying themselves. Chosen one, their collapse is not your concern. Let them scramble. Let them mourn their wasted energy, because while their tables are crumbling, yours is expanding. The same universe that stripped them bare is multiplying everything in your hands. That's why their allies vanish. They don't want to sit at a sinking table. So lift your head. Their bankruptcy is your confirmation. They gave everything to stop you, and you're still here. You didn't just survive, you outlasted their fortune, and now you rise while they count their losses. Number 10. The Great Escape of the Chosen. The greatest humiliation for your enemies is watching you walk out of their trap without a single scratch. Chosen one, the universe is about to prove once again that no chain forged against you can hold. The enemy crafted their pitfall with precision. They timed it, baited it, disguised it so well that anyone else would have fallen straight in. But not you. The moment the trapdoor snaps shut, you are already 10 steps ahead, moving untouched, moving free. And now they stand there, mouths open, whispering to themselves in disbelief. How did they escape? Imagine this. A hunter sets a snare in the forest. He sprinkles bait, covers the wires, hides in the shadows, waiting for the snap. But when the chosen one approaches, the snare breaks before it can close. The hunter looks again, and you're already walking away, calm, unbothered, untouchable. That's the power of your alignment. Your escape isn't luck, it's law. And you may ask yourself, but what if they trap me again? What if I miss the signs? Chosen one, hear this clearly. Your very nature ensures escape. You weren't designed to stay caged. The universe coded resilience into your frequency. Even when you walk into a net, the strings unravel, the walls collapse, and the locks break under your presence. The chosen don't stay trapped. They transform cages into doorways. History has shown it time and time again. Houdini, the great escape artist, baffled audiences, not because he avoided chains, but because chains never held him. Every time they bound him tighter, his escape became more legendary.